Microplastics have been found in human blood for the first time. What? What's up, Healthy Tribe? It's me, Christy Latre, and today, oh, I've got more bad news. More bad news, okay? Let me read something to you. Microplastic pollution has been detected in human blood for the first time, with scientists finding the tiny particles in almost 80% of people tested. 80%. Okay, so the discovery shows the particles can travel around the body and may lodge in organs. The impact on our health is not currently known, but researchers are concerned that these microplastics may cause damage to human cells. In the laboratory, and air pollution particles are already known to enter the body and cause millions of deaths each year, yet no one is talking about this. Okay, here's something else. So the scientists analyzed blood from 22 anonymous donors, and they found that they were all healthy adults, and they found that they found plastic particles in 17 of the 22. Half of the samples contained PET plastic, which is common in water bottles. Water bottles. All right. And then we have a third contained polystyrene used for packaging food and other products. And then a quarter of the blood samples contained polyethylene, which is plastic from carrier bags. So like plastic grocery store bags. Y'all, plastics are everywhere. Plastics are everywhere. Plastics are everywhere. But let's not lose hope. What can we do about this? What can we do to help ourselves? Okay, so the same day that I found out my pans, my whole cookware set was toxic, check it out in this video. My husband comes to me with this story about microplastics being in the human bloodstream of most people that were tested. Granted, it was only 22 people, but they were anonymous, and I mean, it just has me thinking, do I have plastic in me? Am I plastic? As much as I've been trying to be real, I'm plastic now. I'm coming to find out that there is plastic in me. Okay, so this is what I did. I did a little deep dive, right? And I was like, man, but I don't use plastic water bottles anymore. And I do my best, not to use too much plastic. But I started looking around my house and my kitchen. Y'all, plastic is everywhere. Literally everywhere. So I was like, okay, what can I do to eliminate the plastic that I bring into my house and that I use on a daily basis? So here are some things that I replaced. Number one, okay, what utensils are you using to cook with? So I've been using these nylon utensil sets, right? And they come with everything. I got some from IKEA. Sometimes my spatula melts and I just go and get another one. Well, nylon is nothing more than a high grade and upgraded plastic material, okay? It's a plastic material, it melts, and when it gets too hot, it really it contaminates your food. It gets into your food. So it's just another way to leach plastic into your system. So I threw away all of those nylon utensils and I replaced them with silicone and bamboo. And I couldn't be any more happy with it. That was about a week ago, and I've been cooking with it, and it's been fantastic. Can't even tell the difference. So what would be great to cook with is stainless steel, silicone, and bamboo and wood. All right? You can't go wrong if you cook with those, any of those four. The next thing, you guys, okay. I had a wood chopping board. I replaced it with this other material that I can't seem to remember right now. But when I looked at that, I was like, it's plastic. It's an upgraded form of plastic, but it's plastic. I've been chopping stuff on this plastic chopping board. And so, with all the cuts and everything, I'm sure I've just been ingesting plastic like a mug. So I got rid of that and I got a new wooden chopping board. All right. Now the thing about wood is, the reason I replaced my wood chopping board years ago is because I read something, I did something, and it was like, man, wood really absorbs the contaminants from the food that you're eating. But with this wood chopping board, I've decided not to chop meat on it, but just to keep it with vegetables. And so if I need to cut meat, I'm just going to use a ceramic dish or something like that to do it, because usually I just have a fillet of something that's really simple to cut. Even after it comes off of the skillet, after I've cooked it or something like that, I'm just going to chop it on either the countertop or a ceramic plate. That's what I've decided. Keeping my wood chopping board, and I'm super happy with it. Another way that I was getting plastic was through my food containers. So I would cook food and I had so many plastic containers, and I call myself, getting the really nice ones, the BPA free ones. And I was like, oh yeah, this is fine. So one thing about these, the longer your food or anything sits in that plastic, it's gonna leach inside. All right, and when it's heated, it's even worse. So if you're using plastic containers, never, ever, ever, ever microwave anything, all right, with plastic containers, because that is just going to activate all of those plastic contaminants into your food. It's messed up, right? Yeah. And especially if your container has been, if your container has, how it has like that ring of cooked on food, like if you've made a tomato sauce or something and it just like leaches in, well, those, you need to just throw them away, because those are super contaminated and you're really gonna get those plastic contaminants into your system by reusing that. So get rid of the messed up plastic containers and don't heat them up. So heat your food. If you use your microwave, heat it with ceramic. All right, that's the best I can tell you if you want to free yourself of those toxins. Glass and stainless steel, guys, those are two great things that you can use to store your food. I have some glass, and so I do have some stainless steel bowls that I could use to just store food, soups, or whatever it is that I'm making in, and I will over time get more. So this one right here was disturbing because there are actually microplastics in our water system. Water coming out of the faucet. And I filter my water. So I was like, oh, I filter my water. So that has to be great, right? It has to filter out the microplastics. Well, come to find out, the microplastics are so tiny, there is no water filtration system right now that can filter it out. So we're getting it anyway. That's messed up, right? And another thing is, I don't use water bottles, but I do filter my water. And like I said, I looked and I was devastated because my water is sitting in a plastic container. Like the trough that holds the water is plastic. So I was like, oh my gosh. I've been sitting here, at first I was really just thinking about not using individual water bottles as much and using my stainless steel water carrier, big water bottle that I carry with me when I'm out. But although I was using less water bottles, I'm still getting the microplastics. So, sometimes it feels like you can't win for losing, but we can. Like, there are little things. I just have to stay optimistic about this, because if we do these little things, we are certainly going to get better results if we do nothing at all. At first, I was just going to replace all of my water filters, but there's one that I really, really like. So I decided I'm going to keep my water filter and I'm going to let it filter through, and I'm just going to transfer it into a glass container, and that'll be the fix. I'll just let the water filter, pour it directly into a glass container so it's not sitting in that plastic container for long. And I did replace one of my water filters, which was wonderful, with this glass water filtration system, and it is an alkaline water filtration system. So I'm super hype about it. It is so pretty and the water tastes so good. I do have a link in the description box below if you want to check that one out, if you want to get it for yourself. There is one thing that I'll say about it. It came with this old cheapy plastic spout. So I replaced that with a stainless steel water spout, and it works great. I do have a couple of other random fixes for using less plastic. And number one, take your own bags. I know it's usually people on the West Coast, the Southern California crew, y'all take your own bags all the time because they started charging for grocery store bags. So that's a great incentive to do it. But right now, like wherever you are, just take a reusable bag. That's going to help so much because you don't want your food just sitting in the plastic. And then I was thinking about produce. You get those plastic bags from the grocery store, you fill it with your produce. Well, there are mesh bags that you can get that you can reuse, and you're not putting your food in plastic, and you are giving yourself less exposure to having plastics into your system. I also have some of those in the description box below that you can get. Take your own reusable bags to the grocery store. That's number one. I'll put those together. Two, if you like to use straws, get some nice stainless steel reusable straws. Because again, straws are plastic and they're destroying our oceans. You might not care or think about that too much, but just think about the plastic exposure that you're getting from bringing that liquid in through yet another piece of plastic, okay? And then the final thing, I love mason jars. I use them as glasses. I use them for storage of food, of liquids, anything. And I even love to prepare my salads, like the insides. I'll chop my salad. Everything that I'm putting inside the salad, I'll chop it up. I'll put it in a mason jar. And then all I have to do is cut up my lettuce, whatever I'm doing as my salad base, and then pour in all those veggies. It's so easy, so simple. So mason jars of all sizes are always an awesome choice. So these are some of the things that I've been thinking about and some of the changes that I have been making lately. But I would love to hear from you because, hey, I'm no expert. I'm new at this, and I know that it's not going to be perfect, and I know that I can't eliminate all the toxins and all the things, but I want to do what I can so I can have the best chance at having a healthy body for as long as possible. Guys, I would love to hear from you about what you're doing, any hacks that you have, and what you think about some of the things that I'm doing. So leave a comment below. Until then, be fit, be fab, be you.